today's anime review, we get to cover another crossover anime movie, which is basically once again for today because we got another anime crossover movie, which is probably part of the works of Go Nagai for today's anime review is Mazinger Z versus Devilman. So yeah, that's the one. This anime movie has basically have both characters that were both created by the work of Go Nagai. Yeah, because Mazinger Z versus Devilman was first released in Japan, which is probably on July 18th, 1973, which is probably around the same time as Mazinger Z anime series was probably airing at the time as well as Devilman TV series has ended on April 7th, 1973, around that same year as well, because that's probably how it had a lot to do with when it comes to having these crossovers as well. And therefore, I thought this was supposed to be a canon type anime movie, but it's not canonical to either one of how that'll basically stand the test of time for this testimony for this particular anime movie, like Mazinger Z versus Devilman as well. And yeah, that's probably how it's just how it is as well. I mean, come to think of it as well, yeah, that's probably how if this is anime, how it's presented as intended to be as well. And yes, this anime movie was directed by Tomoharu Katsumata, who worked on Devilman 1972 anime series, Mazinger Z, Cutie Honey, Great Mazinger, Yofo Robot Grandizer, and King, which ironically they're the more popular ones as well. So, yeah, this is our typical anime movie. Yeah. So, probably have your own little Monster of the Week type crossover type anime movie, which Devilman and Mazinger Z were all in this particular movie as well, because it has basically featuring alternate versions of the events from both Mazinger Z and Devilman TV series around in the same category of the 70s as well, particularly in this anime. And yes, this was done by Dynamic Planning and Toei Animation as well. So this will stand the testimony as well for their own credibility of how they made this anime, of how it's given in the title, probably because it was not canonical, because it has these alternate events from both Mazinger Z and Devilman series. How it's probably how alternates the way of how it's intended as well. So for the plot in Mazinger Z versus Devilman, which is basically a classic anime crossover anime movie. Dr. Hell is up to his... So the plot in this anime is about Dr. Hell is up to his usual tricks, trying and timing again and to defeat the giant robot Mazinger Z and take over the world as well. So Dr. Hell sends a troop of evil robots to attack Mazinger Z and Koji as well. Mazinger's pilot rises to the occasion and trounces the opposition. However, during the battle, Mazinger unintentionally frees the giant demon Siren, who is basically an old enemy of the demon hunter superhero Devilman, which is probably from the 1972 Devilman anime series. There are some villains in the Devilman anime from the Devilman anime TV series that are added in this one, besides the villains from like Dr. Hell from Mazinger Z series as well, particularly in the sheer moment of Siren frees a legion of her demon colleagues, but before they can lay waste to human civilization, Dr. Hell intervenes and takes control of them. Devilman catches wind of this unholy alliance and in his human form as Akira Fudo, sends a warning to Koji Kabuto and Mazinger Z. Dr. Hell has his sights to set Mazinger's new power-up, the Jet Scrambler, and with the powers of a shell on his side, things are looking up to go in his favor if Earth is to be saved. Mazinger Z and Devilman must work together. Yeah, that's probably how they had to stop Dr. Hell as well as Siren and her demon colleagues, particularly. So that's the story how it goes in Mazinger Z versus Devilman anime movie. Yes, I thought this was supposed to be a canon type movie, and the characters, however, they're basically the same characters, but Miki Makimura from the original Devilman 1972 anime series wasn't in Devilman movie. Sorry about that. Let me scratch that. Miki Makimura from the original 1972 Devilman TV series wasn't in Mazinger Z versus Devilman, besides Sayaka Yumi from the Mazinger Z series as well. Well, yeah, there's some characters that were from the original Mazinger Z that were appeared in this particular anime movie as well. Yeah. Because because both Devilman and Mazinger Z are Go Nagai's most well-renowned characters appeared in this anime crossover type movie, as was to many other anime crossovers in besides movies, as well as OVAs, and as well as TV series in general, whatever you want to call it as well, particularly. But that's just how it is as well. I mean, think about it. This is a non-canon type anime movie as well. Yeah, this is probably like a dynamic crossover with these two characters from both the same creator, which is Go Nagai, had a lot to do with, particularly for Mazinger Z versus Devilman movie as well. Yeah, this is particularly your 70s crossover type anime movie. Yeah, because it's just how it is as well, probably, of how you expect for a crossover type anime movie. What Mazinger Z versus Devilman had a lot to do, particularly for the well-known fact for this particular way. But that's probably how it was the only type of and yes, there is the soundtrack. However, the music in let's go about the music. The music in Mazinger Z versus Devilman movie as well. Yeah, the music is probably has the music from the original Mazinger Z series as well, and it all same goes with the Devilman theme song from the 1972 Devilman anime television series that you'd expect that you haven't heard in an anime crossover. Same with the Mazinger Z theme song from the original Mazinger Z series as well. Probably. If you watch both either the original Mazinger Z or the original Devilman 1972 anime series, if you watched it, or if you may be disappointed about it, but if you like both in the same way, you might enjoy this particular anime movie. And yes, they end this movie with the music from Mazinger Z on it, which is particularly, it's just how it is as well, probably. If you're a fan of either Mazinger Z or Devilman, you might know about this movie. I thought this was supposed to be canon at first. I mean, there's some slight enjoyment, but it's nothing too crazy about it. I mean, the animation has basically how it hasn't aged well, probably. And that's the age-old question, particularly for if dynamic planning and Toei Animation had a lot to do when they made Mazinger Z versus Devilman, probably in the particular way as well. But it's just how it is as well, personally as well. Because that's the serious thing for the sheer moments of this, which is basically a work of art as well, which how they used characters that were from the same series as intended to be in an anime crossover type movie as well than any other has done before as well. Think about it. And yes, was released on DVD only in Japan by Toei Video, and that's just how it is as well. And yes, this is basically, both of them were based on the manga by the same creator, Go Nagai, especially for Mazinger Z and Devilman, basically. Yeah, that's probably just how it is as well, because before there was many other anime crossovers out there in general. I thought this was supposed to be canon at first. Now, if this was Devilman versus Hades manga, then I would have been compelled for a manga review if you ever want to tell the difference as well, which is either canon or not. But it's Mazinger Z versus Devilman, because it's probably how your typical non-canon type movie as well. I mean, this crossover seems to get a laugh at as well, probably. Especially for an anime movie like Mazinger Z versus Devilman, particular in this, which is, are these part of this particular anime movie, which is they did a lot of stuff for this particular anime movie as well. I mean, that's probably how it can be for this particular crossover anime movie, probably. I mean, it was so different than any other anime has ever done before, as any out there in general as well. Of how they showcase characters from two different types of anime movie series, of how they use them for a crossover one. Now, if this was CB Chara Go Nagai World, then that'll be for the upcoming review at this point. But anyway, for overall, I'd say that the sound is basically how they used it from each other series as well. I like the action and the fight scenes probably in Mazinger Z versus Devilman as well. But overall, this is some good enjoyment for this one. If you're looking for an anime crossover movie that'll blow your mind away, chances there is give this one a watch, which is Mazinger Z versus Devilman. And probably, it's been a while since I watched this movie when it was dubbed in Italian on YouTube, because in Italy it goes by the name Mazinger Z contro Devilman as well. Particularly, it's just how it is as well. That's pretty much how crossovers in most anime movies or OVA or TV series in general are, probably. Because this is basically a non-canon type anime movie, in my opinion. I thought this was supposed to be canon, but it didn't turn out as expected as I thought it should be in general. If you're looking for a better anime crossover movie that is either canon or not, there's a lot of them out there. But this one, for overall, I find this to be decent as well. I mean, it's okay, but it's just basically how it is as well. So that's going to be it for my anime review on Mazinger Z versus Devilman for today's anime review. Thank you for watching, but before we go, here's my thoughts on this. I thought this was supposed to be canon, but it's just how it is as well.